All right. What are your daily habits? Do they help you with your English? So, we're going to talk about the things that you should be doing every day as part of your routine, your habits that'll really help you reach fluency faster. So, stay tuned. We're going to get started in just a second. First, let's say hello to our friend and our guest, Leon. How are you?
Good, Ben. Everything is all good. And what about you? How's everything with you?
Doing well. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Hey, everyone, what's up? Hopefully, everyone's doing all right.
Hope you are having a nice day, and thank you for watching this video. We're going to get started now. We're going to give you some tips. We're going to tell you well, we're going to give you a bunch of things. You decide what you want to integrate into your daily habits, right? So things you might want to do every day as part of your habit that'll help you reach fluency faster. So do these things every day, not all of them, maybe one of them, two of them, three of them, whatever you decide. Let's get started. I would say that it's a really good idea to every day as a habit to make sure you do a little bit of reading, do some reading in English. It's very important to read in English every day. It doesn't have to be a book, right? Because people are always saying, yeah, I don't really want to read books. And I always tell them, you don't have to read a book. You don't have to read a 500-page novel. Reading has to be enjoyable. So, if you like online shopping, go and do reading on websites in English. Make sure they're, not the translated version of the website, but go to, the American version of the website. So you're reading native written text, right? So if you want, just let's say you're shopping for an iPhone, go to apple.com, the American one, and read the way they describe the phones, the way they describe their computers. And that is considered reading. That's great reading to do. It's easy to do. Plus, you have the visual, right? Sometimes they even have like accompanying animated graphics or whatever. So you're learning on so many levels. So I like that. It's like interactive reading that way. So read, very important. What do you think? Do you think that's a good way to read,
Yeah,
Leon?
it's an excellent idea. I truly believe that reading and something that you find that you're interested in, because that's the key thing. If you're reading and you find it like you have to do it, it's not gonna push you and spend more time for you to read. But if you find something that interests you, your passion that you really enjoy, then yeah, it could be anything. Go to the internet, find some articles or stories or magazines or current events. There are so many things that you can read about. Most important is find something that interests you, because the more you're interested in, the more time you're going to spend on it. So yeah, definitely reading, like what you mentioned, it's an excellent thing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So once again, we want you to read every day, and it doesn't have to be a certain quantity. Like, for example, you don't have to be really strict about it. Like, oh, every day you have to read 30 minutes or else. No, not like that. No, just read throughout the day. You have, let's say you have 5 minutes while you're waiting for, the subway, the train, or whatever. Go to a website, read in English for those 5 minutes. A few minutes here, a few minutes there, and you'll be surprised. And once again, it doesn't have to be a book. It can be a book if you want to read a book, but like I gave you an example, it doesn't have to be a book. It could just be like online shopping or whatever. Any type of reading in English, do it daily. Okay, your turn, Leon. What do you advise people to do every day as part of their English learning habits, daily habits? What'll help them get to
Well,
fluency faster?
for me, because fluency, it depends on what fluency you want to fall into. But a lot of people say that I want to improve in my speaking level.
Yeah.
They have the grammar, the writing, and the listening maybe. The reading part, yes, but the reading, I mean the speaking part and the listening part is where they really want to improve and excel on. And for me, practicing speaking regularly every day is the most important thing in order for you to improve. Because if you lack speaking, you got to speak, right? In order to do that, find, people, partner, language partner. I always say, like, talk to yourself, look in the mirror, or, it's going to be awkward in the beginning because people are going to think that you're weird at home, you're talking to yourself. But this is a great way to you to improve because you can't find a language partner. So by you talking to yourself will really enhance your speaking. Yeah, you can even talk to like Siri if you have an iPhone, or if you have, what was that? Oh my gosh.
Google Assistant?
Yeah, Google Assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can do many ways.
Alexa?
I was thinking Alexa. That's the one I was thinking of. You
Okay.
can use Alexa and
That's
talk, and
Amazon.
yeah, you can easily talk to that. For me, the best is like Siri because if you have an iPhone, just talk to Siri. Just casual things. Find out things every day, what's going on, or ask questions. I mean, that's great. Or Chat GPT, right? Something
Hmm.
in AI that helps you too. So yeah,
I think
what do
that
you think?
the
Yeah.
most important thing, yeah, the most important thing is to produce the language. Produce the language meaning speak, say something. So
Mm-hmm.
even if you have nobody to talk to, let's say you don't have a digital assistant like you, let's say you don't have an iPhone or whatever. Let's say you don't have that. What you can still do is, and this I've done in for Italian, I'm watching an American TV show or a movie or whatever, it's in English. And what I've done is whatever the actor just said, obviously in English, I'll pause it and I'll just say the same thing in Italian. It's almost like I'm playing translator.
Mm-hmm.
That gets your mind thinking about the language, that gets your mind thinking about English, and then now you have to translate it and then say it in English. Obviously, you're gonna be watching the show in your native language. Let's say, for example, you watch a show or movie in your native language, whatever the actor just said, just pause it and just say the same thing in English. You're doing a little bit of translating in your head. If you don't know the exact word to use to say what the actor just said, go on to Google Translate, get the word, and say the sentence. And you'll be surprised how doing this is going to really help you produce the language. It'll really help you speak because you're being active in producing the language and having to translate. There are many things happening here at the same time, while at the same time you're watching this show that presumably you like. So that's also another way of speaking as well.
Yeah, I mean, shows, YouTube, I mean, there are so many ways that you can do that. And that's a great point that you brought up. I mean, like, watch it, mimic the characters, and just repeat intonation, the pronunciation, and it's going to help you in your speaking part. So, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see what else should you do. Once again, we're talking about the things that you should do as a daily habit so that you can become fluent in English faster. Integrate these things into your routine every day. So, how about let's see, writing in English, just a little bit every day. You don't have to write a story. You don't have to write 3 pages, even if you just wrote a few sentences in English. That's going to help you. So. Um, you can write maybe like at the end of the day or even at the beginning of the day. I think this is not a bad thing to do. And really, it's not about being strict about how many words, how many sentences or paragraphs you write. Just write something until you don't feel like writing. Seriously, write until you don't feel like writing because I don't want you to do it if you don't like it. But at least surely you can get one sentence down. So let's say at the beginning of the day, you can write down what you plan to do today. Just write in English what you plan to do today. Not only is it going to help you organize your life, there's that practical aspect, but it's helping you think and write in English. Again, if you don't know the word, you don't know, you can use Google Translate, you can use a translator or whatever to find out what word you need, but write what you plan to do that day. And if you write down 3 sentences and you're like, I'm bored, I'm done, that's fine. That's fine. You don't have to feel like you have to write down, 25 things in order for it to be a fruitful exercise. The fact that you wrote down anything is good. Alternatively, you can write at the end of the day, maybe in the evening, and you can almost write like a journal of what you did today. How was your day? What are your thoughts? Who bugged you? Who did you hate? Who did you want to kill today? Or what great things happened today? Again, it doesn't have to be like a paragraph, 5 pages, 1,000 words. If you write down one sentence, congratulations, that's good. Write until you don't feel like writing. I think that the key point here is write until you don't feel like writing and then stop. Don't keep going if you don't want to keep going. And if you allow yourself to stop when you want to stop, you're going to actually stick with this exercise longer than you might if you force yourself to do something you don't want to do. So, what do you think? What would you recommend for people to write?
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing I would say is like read like a small article, and then try to summarize it in your own
Oh,
words
yes.
and not do that. I think that's great for you to do that and kind of see how your writing ability is, something you summarize, whatever you read. It's just a practice, right? Another thing I also recommend too is, you go to social media, right? Everybody loves social media. So you go and find some story or something like that, a post, and comment on those posts. That's a little bit
Yes.
of writing.
Very good
So,
idea.
one or two things like that, sentences, and so that's always a good thing. And you get your, comments there, and then later you can visit it, 1 month, 2 months later, and see how much you have improved in your writing. Yeah.
You know what's that's I love that idea of commenting on social media posts. Like, for example, if you were to comment on an Instagram picture or something, the
Mm-hmm.
beauty of that is that you have the visual, right? And then so you write your comment. Doesn't have to be, once again, doesn't have to be multiple sentences. It could just be a few words. But then you
Mm-hmm.
also have the benefit of, while you're commenting or before commenting, you can also read what other people have commented, and you can learn that way as well. And whatever other people have said in their comments, you can relate it to the picture. Once again, you can connect the visual, which really helps with the understanding. And as you know, it's so easy to spend a lot of time on social media, but if you use it productively like this, all that time you're spending on social media is no longer wasted time. It's time
Yeah,
that you're improving your English.
exactly. Exactly. Here on the podcast, just make a comment, make a
Yeah,
comment on our
exactly.
podcast, right? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Commenting is so easy. You want to do it. Everybody loves to comment, but maybe they're a little bit
Right.
of a bit afraid to comment, whatever. But you know what? At least on this channel, you can write whatever you want, even if the grammar's wrong. Don't worry about it. The idea is just to comment, just to write something, just to get in the frame of mind, just to get into that mental space of thinking and then putting it down on not paper, but typing it out. So yeah, so on that note, feel free, guys, to leave a comment while you're doing that. Why not
Yeah.
give this video a thumbs up as well?
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, what else? What else do we want to tell people to do every day? We want you to do these things as part of your habit so that you can improve, so that you can reach fluency faster. All right, so let's continue with another tip. I like telling people to well, this goes along the lines of reading. Uh, I like telling people to read the news, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
not only does it keep you informed. Okay, let's forget about the whole bias of news and all of that. Okay, we're not going to talk about that part, but at least it gives you some indication of what's going on in the world. But also, you're reading, believe it or not, very news is written, at least American news is written at the level of that where everybody, it's presumed that everybody, no matter what your level, will understand it, right? So it's very standardized in terms
Mm-hmm.
of the level. Okay, I've heard that news is written for at the sixth grade level, elementary school level, sixth grade, just before junior high, or yeah, I think sixth grade is before junior high, just before junior high. So it's written at that level. If you aim to understand the news that you're reading and you're able to read it, then that's great, because most things are written at that level. And usually news is going to be well written, in terms of there's not really going to be grammatical errors. Okay, I've never seen grammatical errors in news. Sometimes I see typos, but they're not even that rampant. It's for the most part, I would say news is pretty sound, as pretty good in terms of accuracy in writing. So read the news, and you might find it interesting. You're probably going to gravitate towards, you probably will want to read topics that you enjoy, news types of news that you enjoy. Maybe it's celebrity news, maybe it's tech news, maybe it's medical news, maybe it's gossip columns. I don't know. Whatever it is, read what you like. And I think that it's good practical advice. You can easily integrate that into your daily routine, right, Leon?
Yeah, absolutely. Great thing, a great tip. And when you're dealing with the news, like celebrity tips, I mean, a lot of people love the celebrity tips, and also artists, right? If you're into music and find out what's going on, and the most important part too is if you're able to read aloud, because that's also going to help you in your speaking. So yeah, definitely, I agree with that 100%.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Uh, what else? Do you have a tip to share?
For me, I'd say like join conversational groups. Every day you find some, English speaking group online or even in person. This is a great way you learn from different cultures too, because if you're like in Europe, for example, there's like a diverse group from all over the world, and you kind of learn their culture. So join a group, and if you can't find a group, make your own group. Uh, like let's say if you're in a country and it's not your own country, there are English is a second language, for example, in Europe, and you go to the grocery stores, right? You just go shopping and ask questions, even though you know where the milk section is or the cereal. Just say, like you don't know where it's at. Hey, do you know where I can find this? Make small talk. That's like a conversational group. Like when there's people around and talk to them, and that's a great tool. If you're in shopping, if you're looking for shirts or browsing around, and even though you're not going to buy something, just talk to the person. That's practicing, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and if you are in your own country, then and because everybody speaks the same language, that's even harder. You'd have to find something online. But if you can't, create your own, like in your own meetup group, and then have like meetup cafes and have conversational groups in English. I think these things will help you out if you're able to do that on a regular basis.
Yes, that's a very good idea, and I like the emphasis on just basically talking as much as possible, and that's one way to do it. Absolutely.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Another thing that I have done, I've done this with with Italian, learning Italian. You guys should do this as well every day, so that you can become fluent in English. And that is go on YouTube and watch a how-to video, a video or a review video, right? So let's
Mm,
say, yeah, let's say you go watch a video on how to cook something, how to make something. And the good thing about that is that maybe you already know how to make these cookies, bake these cookies or whatever. Watch it in English. And that way you'll learn exactly what is the exact word or phrase that an American would use to describe this act of, I don't know, maybe something as simple as putting it in the oven. Maybe Americans say it differently than the way you would say it. This act of putting something in the oven, or the act of mixing something, the act of combining something. The great thing about it is if it's something you already know how to do, and you watch this video on how to do it in English. Now you're learning the words, the vocabulary, the phrases associated with doing the thing that you already know. So even if you, while you're watching it, even if you don't understand exactly what they're saying, you will very easily, because you already know how to do it. Plus you have the visuals, you have the video, you're seeing what they're doing, so that will tell you, that'll help you understand the word that they use to describe what it is they're doing. A lot of times we know how to do something, but it is very difficult to describe how to do it. When you watch videos like that, it'll help you learn how to describe the very thing that you are able to do, but maybe can't describe how to do because you don't have the vocabulary, or you don't know the phrasing. Do you know what I mean? Like expressions that are necessary to talk about or describe how to do that thing. So anyway, watch a how-to video.
yeah, I love that idea because it also learns you learn things of what to do, like how to cook cookies or how to bake cookies, right? Or if
Yeah.
you need to maybe make something in the kitchen, or make something like a table or a coffee table. And like you just described, it gives you the description of how to do it, and it's in
Mhm.
detail. So you kind of learn from that. So when you're doing a presentation, or you need to describe something in your conversation, you can use that kind of way of describing something in more detail. So that kind of helps you in that way, in that format. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Okay, what's next? What else is going to help people become fluent if they integrate this into their daily routine?
I would say tongue twisters, challenge yourself with tongue twisters, because by having tongue twisters, it kind of moves your mouth and really kind of exercise your mouth, and not just kind of close your mouth. You actually exercise it. open widely, and those difficult words, right? And it helps you speed up your speaking, and also your pronunciation, because they're tongue twisters. Yeah.
Well, what's great about tongue twisters is that they really help you sort of move your mouth, move your tongue in such a way that you'll be able to produce these sounds, these words
Mm-hmm.
better, and will help you improve your pronunciation. So you can Google, tongue twisters, if you're wondering what tongue twisters are. So they are, so for example, sentences that are kind of hard to say. I mean, even for natives, to be honest, because this is not about being native or non-native. It's just hard to say because the syllables are very close or similar. So, for example, if the sentence is she sold seashells at the seashore, you see how it's all sound. It's
Mm-hmm.
hard for us to say. It's hard for anybody to say it fast. She sold seashells at the seashore. I mean, try it, Leon. Try it. Isn't it hard?
Yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. She sells seashells by the seashore. Yeah, it is hard.
it,
I mean, especially
it's
if you
hard.
go faster. Especially my favorite is Peter Piper picked the pickled peppers, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
that's a good
a
one. Yes.
really popular one. Yeah.
Betty bought a bit of better butter. So, okay, basically what we're trying to illustrate is you got to Google the tongue twisters. You need a list of them.
Hmm.
So these tongue twisters are good because it's like a warm up. It's a warm up
Yes.
exercise, sort of, right? So
Hmm.
it's like it's like when you go to the gym, you don't just start lifting like, you know, I don't know with kilograms. I'm just gonna say pounds. You don't start bench pressing 200 pounds as the first thing you do. You got to warm up, right? Same thing.
Hmm.
That's how you warm up. When speaking English, you can try these tongue twisters. And once you are able to articulate your tongue in such a way that you can say these tongue twisters quickly, you're going to find how easy it is to speak regularly, non-tongue twisters. But look, the goal isn't necessarily to be perfect at these tongue twisters. Remember, they're just warm-ups. It's just an exercise, right? So you don't have to feel like, oh, I failed, I still can't say it. That's not the point. The point is that you're trying, and the point is that you're moving your tongue to produce these sounds as best you can. And then when it comes time to speaking, you'll find it a lot easier for you to pronounce certain words that you once thought was hard, because your tongue is now used to moving a certain way, right? So
Hmm.
that's the benefit of that.
Hmm.
So thank you for that. I love that one, tongue twisters.
Hmm.
um I'm going to say, this is very interesting. That have you noticed, guys, that Leon, your suggestions involve speaking, producing the language, and for some reason, mine tend to focus more on listening. Have you noticed that? Yeah,
Right. Uh-huh.
which is good. So
And
you
this
have a
and this is
variety here.
great. Yeah, you
Yes.
have the speaking and the listening, and these are what the English learners really lack of, and they want to improve more on. So I think it's great. Yeah.
Yes. And so I'm going to continue along the lines of listening then. So I'm going to
Hmm.
say that you should definitely be listening to English every single day. So, for example, um, how about you listen to podcasts every day? And I'm not just saying this because I want you to listen to our podcast. You should just listen to podcasts in English every day, regardless of whose podcast you're listening to. Just listen to podcasts, listen to audiobooks. Of course, they have to be native speakers. That's very important. And make sure they're good sound quality. And yeah, you should just do as much listening as possible, even if you're not paying attention. Yes, that's the important thing, is don't feel like you have to do nothing, sit there, sit in a chair at a desk, sit up straight. No, it's not like that. You can be doing anything. You just have English playing in the background, no music. Okay, I want you to just listen to spoken word. And that will be like listening to music. You just have English playing as often as possible. Maybe you are washing dishes, maybe you're cooking, put on your headphones, listen to native speaking English. Like I said, you don't have to actively be paying attention. You can just be doing other things, and you just want English, native English, to just be going in your ears, going to your brain. And I promise you, you do that enough, and you're gonna find that as you're trying to pronounce words, your accent's gonna become better. All of this, you want English to become a subconscious thing where you don't even have to think about it when you speak it. And that happens not from learning English, but from absorbing it like this in a passive way. So listen to English as much as possible every day. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, I love that. I love listening to podcasts. It's a great tool to help improving your listening, and also you learn a lot of things. From culture to slang words. Gen Z slang words, vocabulary words, casual words. I mean, you learn all that, phrasal verbs, idioms, and most of all, you educate yourself in whatever they're talking about. So that's a great tool. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so what else? Do we have another one?
Yeah, I would say learn, jokes, English jokes, because you
Hmm.
can maybe get that on the internet, or maybe you can buy a book and kind of understand how the jokes are, kind of immerse yourself in the joke. So when you're dealing with people and they say a jokes, you get it. Sometimes people are lost when they're talking about jokes and they don't get it. So by reading more of the jokes and articles, or on the internet, that's going to help you. I mean, some of them can be corny, but a lot of them can be fun, like the knock knock jokes. Knock knock, who's there, that kind of stuff. Or
Hmm.
some people say, well, why don't skeletons fight? They don't have the guts. So it's kind
That's
of a
a
little
good
bit
one.
corny,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you kind of understand what I'm talking about. So yes,
Y-
definitely.
y- Yes, learn some jokes, um, watch maybe comedy shows.
Hmm.
Yeah, some if you like comedies, right? That's another way to be exposed to jokes and things like that. And also, you learn American culture this way. You understand what makes things funny, what
Hmm.
is on the mind of an American when they make these jokes, when they crack these jokes.
Hmm.
And yeah, you just learn a lot about American culture this way. I mean, I think that a lot of times you're going to have the joke explained to you, or maybe you can, from context, figure it out. But if you can figure it out, then it's going to really pay dividends. So that's a very good tip.
Yeah, especially with the stand-up comedians. I mean, they talk about all kinds of things, and especially they get into politics and also like current events and what's happening. So you kind of see how they relate and how they make jokes and make fun of it, and you can relate to that. So it's really funny. So I like that. I love stand-up comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
Hmm.
Um, okay, I don't often tell people to actively try to learn English, but if you like, learning English in sort of the more traditional way, which is not necessarily the natural way, but if you like it, then I would say here's something you should do is open up an app, like an English learning app. Every day, do a little playing around on the app, like Duolingo or whatever, because some of these apps, and they actually will teach you grammar in a not so much teaching kind of way, but in a more organic kind of way. Same thing with learning vocabulary. Some of these apps actually are good, and um, they're better for people who are at the lower level in their English learning, right? And
Hmm.
they'll help you learn grammar. They'll help you learn new vocabulary in a fun way. You also, again, have a picture or a graphic to look at while you're learning the vocabulary, and that'll help you remember it. So some of these apps are pretty good. So if you want to spend a few, like 5-10 minutes each day with an English learning app, you should do it. If you think that it's enjoyable, you should do it. Again, you should stop the moment you don't. You're like, I'm done. Then stop. Don't ever force yourself to keep that app open and keep going if you don't want to. I'd rather you turn off the app if you're bored with it, and then go watch something in English that you're not bored with. The key is to uh, consume English in a way that you enjoy, because you will not be learning if you're zoning out. You're like, oh, this is bored, right? You're mentally checked out. If that's the case, it's a waste of time. So that's why you've got to employ a variety of different techniques to learn and absorb English in a way that keeps you interested. So if you're bored with the app after 2 minutes, then shut it off. Don't waste time on it. Go do something
Hmm.
else. Go on YouTube, right?
Hmm. Absolutely. Here's another thing that I would recommend too, is like karaoke, sing along. When you're listening to
Oh
music, we
yeah.
talked about movies, what to do about movies. But another thing is like sing along, like to music that you like, get the lyrics, sing along with it, and go to karaoke. I mean, go in a group, go with friends, someone that you feel safe and you enjoy. Have fun with it. So that's another way to practice. You get the intonation, the pronunciation, kind of the rhythm of it by singing along to the music. Yeah, it's a fun way to
Yeah.
do that. It's a fun way to practice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that integrating music with lyrics in English, I think that that's a great way to stay interested and motivated. And also, like, if you do want to sing, you can, right? You can sing in the shower. Most people
Yeah.
do anyway. Just go ahead. So that's totally good. That's not a bad thing. That's You should do it. If you're a little bit embarrassed, and do it when nobody's around, but allow yourself that moment where you can just be sort of silly, but at the same time have fun. And that's a great way to improve your English too. That's something you can definitely do every day.
Hmm.
Okay, so well, let's do one more, and then we'll wrap up here.
Okay.
How about playing a word game? Word games are great. You can play word games online. You can play word games with your friends online via an app, right? So maybe Scrabble, Words with Friends, something like that. Any type of word game, because um, as you might have guessed, word games will help you with your vocabulary. And plus, it's a game, so it'll be fun. And if you're, playing with people, you'll maybe feel a sense of competitiveness, and you'll want to outdo the other person, which will make you want to play even more. But ideally, you find a word game that you enjoy and you play it every day. And sometimes it's not about, when I used to play Words with Friends, which is an online version of Scrabble. uh it's not like I would just sit there and play for hours. It's not like that. Sometimes you're like, you open the app, you play for a minute, and then you close it, and then you're done. Later in the day, you have another minute, you open it, you play, and then you're done. So that's how you should do it. The idea is, and really, with all of these tips that we've given you, it's not so much about committing yourself to one thing and just setting a timer for 30 minutes and doing that nonstop. No, it's not like that. It's about
Hmm.
taking five, I don't know, one, three, five, seven of these tips, and just integrating it, mixing it up throughout the day. Even if you're just doing any one of these things for just 30 seconds, if you do a whole bunch of different ones and you add it all up, you have spent 30 minutes learning English in a way that is enjoyable to you. That will help you reach fluency faster.
Hmm. Yeah, and when you're playing games, you're not just going to be there and just play the game, right? You're going to have a conversation with people, other
True. Yeah.
things,
And
other
chat.
topics, other subjects. Yeah, just chit chat, small talk.
Yep.
This is also going to help you. It's not just the game itself, but being interactive with other people. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I've spoken with a lot of English learners who game on like online, and
Hmm.
like console gaming. And
Hmm. Yes.
through that they've chatted with people, and
Hmm.
through that they have really improved their English just from chatting with people while they're gaming with them. And so
Yep.
all the hours and hours and hours that they spend gaming, right, and their parents are telling them to go outside and play, well, the indirect benefit is that they actually improve their English tremendously by spending hours and hours gaming, because they're also chatting in English.
Yeah.
So I was very surprised when I've spoken to people who said that they never really quote learned English, but they just kind of learned it through chatting with people while gaming. I'm like, wow, incredible.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right. So we have reached the end here. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Please give it a thumbs up. If you're still here, I assume that you have enjoyed it. So give it a thumbs up. We would really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any suggestions of your own, please feel free to leave a comment, and we will continue the conversation in the comments, guys. So leave a comment. And Leon, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Ben. Thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone. See y'all later. Ciao.
See you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.
See ya.
Okay.